All right, good evening, everybody. It is 8 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining Future Pete's Res. This is, I can't even name the number of webinars that we're on, but we are in the thick of our 2025 Match webinar series, and we are so excited to have you here this evening. We are also so excited to introduce you to our Southern medium-sized programs. We have a ton of awesome programs on tonight, and we are so excited for them to get to meet you and you to get to know them a little bit better. So we thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, we are equally as excited to have you. You'll get to learn a little bit about what Peds Res does and how we're connecting students and programs together through these webinars. So thanks so much for being here, and we will get started with tonight's programming. All right, my name is Caroline. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a fourth-year student at Penn State College of Medicine, and I proudly serve as one of the co-directors for the Future Peds Res group, alongside Stephanie, who's unable to be here with us tonight, but she is working diligently behind the scenes to make these webinars possible as well. She's a fourth-year student at the Western University of Health Sciences, and we are joined tonight by an amazing team of Future Peds Res webinar. We work very closely with our programming team. There's tons of people behind the scenes, so we're just happy to have you here, and can't wait to show you what our group has been working on over the past few months. Tonight would not be possible without our APPD faculty advisors. So we have Michael Dell, who is the Vice Chair of Education at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, as well as Colleen Hughes, who is the Associate Executive Director for APPD. And we thank them so much for their time and their advice and everything they've done to make these webinars possible. And we would also like to acknowledge our ComCEP faculty advisor, Dr. Rachel Thompson, who is an assistant professor of pediatrics and director of pediatric undergraduate medical education at the Boston University Chobanian and Avedisian School of Medicine. All right, so those are some of the individuals who have made tonight possible, but I am going to let the other crucial individuals who have made tonight possible introduce themselves. Take it away, team.
Hi, I'm Erin Nieskern. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a fourth-year medical student at the University of Colorado School of Medicine.
Hi everyone, I'm Faria Fatima. I'm a rising fourth year at the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine, and I'm part of the webinar and equity teams. I'll also be oh my gosh, I apologize. I'll also be introducing Victoria. She's part of our webinar team as well, an essential player behind the scenes. She couldn't be here tonight, but our infographic and webinar series would not be possible without her.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana Orabweza. I am a third-year medical student at Penn State College of Medicine, and I'm happy to be here with all of you today.
And we would also like to introduce our FPR webinar associate director, who's working very hard behind the scenes tonight, Sheena.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheena Bedi. I'm an international medical graduate from India, and I'm serving as the Associate Director of Webinars for FPR this season.
I'd like to say a warm welcome to everyone joining us tonight. We're so excited to have you with us at the Southern Region Medium Programs webinar. Thank you to all the program directors, coordinators, as well as representatives who have taken the time out of their evening to be with us and participate in our future Peds Res webinar series. The goals for our series is to provide residency applicants with foundational knowledge surrounding the application interview process, well-rounded insight into participating programs by region, as well as providing time for a devoted live and Q&A session. We'll be revisiting this slide at the end, but just want to let you all know that we are officially halfway through our program webinar series. We'll be continuing through the rest of August with our Northeast Medium Program webinar coming up next on August 5th. Please see the link below in the chat or the QR code to register, which will come up in the end again. Before we officially meet our programs for the evening, we will be hearing from our APPD representatives with the Southern Region States. Then we will begin with our program presentations, during which applicants will learn about programs and have an opportunity to ask questions during the live Q&A session. The presentation will be recorded, so if you're interested in learning about programs that are not in your breakout room, you can head over to our YouTube page afterwards. So to start off, we welcome our APPD representatives, Dr. Dina Tom and Dr. Kerna Bria, who will give us a quick overview of some of the states included in the Southern region. Dr. Tom, Dr. Bria, would you mind starting us off?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Dina Tom. My pronouns are she, her. I am the program director at UT Health in San Antonio, and I'm really excited to be here tonight. So the southern region is made up of 3 ERAS regions, and so that's a lot of states, but these are the medium-sized programs in these sets of states. So you have the ERAS West, South, Central, which includes Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Arkansas. And then you have the ERAS East, South, Central region, which includes Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. And then the ERAS South Atlantic region, which includes Maryland, Delaware, Washington, D.C., Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So you have a lot of schools there in a lot of, it's a big swath of land, but these are the medium-sized programs that are listed here that you will hear from tonight. And I'll let my colleague go ahead. Is she on tonight?
Dr. Bria is not on tonight. She's on vacation in the country with her family.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then that's totally fine. So there's two of us tonight, so that's totally fine. But yeah, so what you'll find, they put us all together for the medium-sized programs in this big swath of states. And so this represents the southern region for Future Peds Res. But these are the medium-sized programs, which is between 30 and 60 residents total that you'll see over the 3 years of the residency classes. So our program is a medium-sized program. We take 15 residents a year, so we have 45. So that's what you'll kind of see that spectrum as you're looking at these schools tonight. So make sure that you ask really great questions about how those programs function, and the benefits of medium-sized programs that we will all sell you on is that you have all the benefits of the large centers with the benefits of having a little bit of a closer knit community where you really know each other as residents. You know your faculty and staff, and it provides for a really meaningful and personalized experience.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation on what the South has to offer. I would like to now introduce our participating programs for the night. We have so many awesome schools here tonight. And attendees, if you can please take a moment to pull out your phones and snap a picture of the screen so that you can easily refer back to it when bouncing around the breakout rooms, that would be amazing. This slide will also be shared the remainder of the session in the main room for the webinar. So we will now be going into our breakout rooms. Throughout the webinar, you can ask questions using the chat box or Zoom. And we also amplify insights or what we have learned from the webinar on Twitter using hashtag FPRwebinar and hashtag PedsMatch2025. We will now give everyone a few minutes to join their respective rooms. Please feel free to hop around the rooms and let us know if you have any questions.
Okay, everyone, thank you, and welcome to our breakout room 1 for our Medium Southern Programs webinar. We're going to go ahead and get started for the evening with our first couple set of presentations. Just a couple bit of logistical rules. We always will have our schedule shared back at the main room, so if you need to hop between sessions or lose the schedule, please make sure to head back into the main session. The slide will remain shared there. If you need any navigation or assistance navigate the breakout rooms, we'll have our amazing co-directors helping out in the main room. So this is room 1. My name is Faria. I'm a rising 4th year at TCOM, and I'll be your moderator for this evening. I'd like to give Diana a chance to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. It's happy to be here with you guys. Once again, 3rd year medical student at Penn State College of Medicine.
Okay, so we're going to dive into the movement everyone has been waiting for. Each of our program representatives will be giving a short presentation of their programs. We'll have a timer up for 5 minutes on my screen just to kind of help you track time throughout the session. And as the time approaches, they'll have a short ring and just to give you time to wrap things up. As we'll move on, we'll give a few seconds for people to trickle in between rooms before moving on to the next program presentation. Attendees, please feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat throughout. We encourage program representatives to make use of the chat to answer questions throughout the session. And of course, we will have time for devoted live Q&A at the end. Okay, we're going to move on to our first program presentation. I welcome Dr. Harefield from UT Medical Branch Galveston to start us off for the evening.
Right. Thank you all for having us this evening. For all of you who have put this together, it's just a great opportunity for us. My name is Amber Harefield. I'm the program director at UTMB in Galveston, and I'm joined tonight by Dr. Chow Win. He's one of our chief residents, and I think our program coordinator or program manager, Christy Humphrey, may also be on the line. So I'm just excited to tell you all a little bit about our program. So we were established in 1938, and we're affiliated with the University of Texas Medical Branch Medical School, which is the oldest school in Texas. Our main campus is located in Galveston, which is an island off the Gulf of Mexico, kind of south of Houston. And we have other campuses on the mainland in League City and the Clear Lake area. Our patient population, we have a draw really from kind of the Beaumont area all the way to Victoria. We have a diverse patient population, and we're committed to recruiting and supporting and retaining outstanding residents of diverse backgrounds. We take 14 residents per year, and our residents are involved in a mentorship program. We have a well-being committee, we have a resident council, public relations committee, and resident representation on our program evaluation committee. So we enjoy having our residents being part of program management and decision-making. Our main clinical strengths are in primary care and neonatology, and our curriculum reflects that with a strong longitudinal continuity clinic. We also have ambulatory-based subspecialties, a level 4 NICU, and our residents have a lot of opportunities to exercise their autonomy and clinical skills, being that we have only 2 fellowships, so neonatology and allergy immunology. And so our residents are the main ones who are taking care of the patients. Our curriculum is set up to have most of the hospital rotations towards the beginning of residency, and then more of the individualized blocks and selectives towards the end of residency. And we are planning to start an X+Y schedule in July of 2025. Our community outreach is partnering our residents during their advocacy and school health experiences with the Smart Family Literacy Program. And so that aims to improve literacy in some of the lower socioeconomic areas in our community, because we know that knowing how to read is really going to open up a lot of opportunities for the kids in our community. Our didactics include morning report, for our hospital services. We do an academic half day on Wednesday afternoons, and we have a house system. So our residents are put into teams and have a friendly competition for gaining house points. We also have preclinical teaching conferences for our continuity clinics. All of our residents are expected to complete at least one scholarly activity and submit that project to the Texas Pediatric e-poster contest at the end of their residency. And then we have a Pediatrics by the Gulf CME conference that our residents also present their posters at. And just overall, Galveston is a fun island. There's a pleasure pier, there's the Strand, the seawall, lots of historic homes, a lot of Texas history. Whether you want to live on the island or live on the mainland, there's a place for you. Also, if there's good schools and job opportunities, if you're bringing anyone with you. And just overall, we're excited about the upcoming interview season to get to know everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harefield. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to our next presentation. I'd like to welcome back Dr. Tom to introduce UT Health San Antonio.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again so much, Faria, for putting this together. This is incredible. I could never have imagined when I was going through my residence interviews that this would be something that would be possible. So it's really cool to be a part of this. So I'm super excited. I was trained by the former program director, and I have been APD for the last, 4 years. And so I started as APD July 1st with a planned succession plan for me to be program director. So this is it's very meaningful to me because I trained at UT Health San Antonio, and it's something that I never left because I loved it so much, and I became program director 11 years after I graduated. So this is my baby, and I'm so excited to share with you why I love our program so much and our residents. So we are a medium-sized program. We take 15 residents per year. We implemented X+Y scheduling this year. So we started in July, and the residents are just incredible. They are navigating it. We're teasing out all of it because we wanted to try it before the 2025 ACGME guidelines went into effect, and everyone is just seems really excited about it. They know it's a moving target, but in terms of wellness, it's made a drastic improvement in the ability for work-life balance. The residents, our program has always been known as a very resident-driven program. So it is the focus of the medical school and our residency program that the residents really are the priority in our program for trainees, for medical students and trainees, which is wonderful because it means they always have a voice. And I can attest to that because I felt like I had one as a resident. And then as a faculty, I was like, oh, wow, the residents have such a big voice, which is a wonderful, beautiful thing for a program. So there's a wellness program that's run by our residents that we have faculty champions for. We have a global health program, and we are sending our residents this year to Vietnam and I think Peru. And we just opened last October our standalone women and children's tower of our hospital. So it is a beautiful state-of-the-art standalone women and children's tower. We are a level 1 trauma center. We have a level 4 NICU. We do ECMO. As residents, you will take care of the most complex patients, but then also just bread and butter pediatrics. So it's a really wonderful education as a pediatrician to be general pediatrician or to go into fellowship. We're very excited that we started another fellowship this year in July, which is pediatric hospital medicine, and we have our first PHM fellow also. So we have 6 fellowships that are offered at UT Health in San Antonio, with 2 hospital medicine ward teams and 10 subspecialty services. So in addition to X+Y scheduling and an individualized curriculum, we also provide protected didactics on Fridays, some protected administrative and educational time Friday mornings, so residents can get their duty hours logged and finish their medical records and really catch up for the day and feel like they have that balance as they go into their weekends. We offer a clinician educator track as well as a medical educator track. So depending on if residents are interested in education and teaching. We also have a very large migrant population in San Antonio. And so this is something that's really special and unique to our population in San Antonio, is the ability to really get comfortable providing the best care to migrants who really need to navigate the US health system and how to best do that as a pediatrician and advocate for them. So board studying is really important when you are a resident, because you know that inevitably you have that looming coming at the end of your 3 years. And so our chair of our department, Dr. Seidner, is just phenomenally supportive of the residents. So he even goes so far as to support personally out of his pocket for our residents to have breakfast in the mornings for morning report. We have support for the residents to get the full med study course and to travel to Dallas for that course every year for the 3rd years to do that. We have obviously food at didactics. There's free parking. There's really med study and protected board review electives. So that's really important that you come out of residency feeling like you're prepared to take your exam as well. So San Antonio is a phenomenal city. I'm a little bit biased. Obviously, I've been here a long time, and I built my family here. So it's a wonderful city because it's incredibly friendly and kind. I've lived in Austin and Houston as well, and San Antonio has a nice mix we're kind of a medium-sized program in a medium-sized city, which is perfect. So come see what we're all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Dr. Tom. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next program. I welcome the representative for Texas Tech University Health Science Center, El Paso.
Hi, representative. Myself, so I'm Dr. Fatima. Yes, I am the pediatric residency program director, and I'm here with my chief residents, Dr. Boo Wright, who will be presenting a little bit about the program. I think one of the things that makes our program unique is really just being here on the U.S.-Mexico border. So our children's hospital has a direct view of Juarez, Mexico, and I think that really our population. So literally, we oftentimes are the first contact with a lot of patients out there coming across the border. This is my daughter, Aya. She's saying hi. Well, now she's being shy, but I'll let Dr. White talk a little bit more about our program.
Hi, everybody. I'm Boo Wright. I'm one of the pediatric chiefs, as Dr. Gutierrez was saying. So I would totally agree. Our program is very immersed in the border culture and border healthcare. We get patients from all over the world that travel a very, very long way to receive healthcare and bring their children a very long way. And so it's a very rewarding environment to be a part of. We are a level 1 trauma center as well, so we do get a lot of exposure to a wide variety of pathology from both medical and surgical aspects. We're a level 4 NICU, and we are the closest one in the region, so we have a lot of babies here as well. We recently opened a multi-specialty clinic and have been gaining new subspecialists, but we are a fellowship-free facility. So our residents are right in the working zone and first up for procedures, for research opportunities, and for interaction with those subspecialty mentors, which means that we have pretty good match rates when it comes to going into fellowships. I think NICU is one of our strongest rotations and leads to our highest rates. But of course, we've produced a pulmonologist, endocrinologist, all sorts of subspecialists as well. And I think one of the best parts of our program is truly the people. We have a very diverse class. We also recruit from all over the world. We have an annual culture day to kind of celebrate where everyone is from and our cultures and our language that we bring. And we really do kind of get that family vibe by the time everyone graduates. We're inviting each other to weddings and baby showers years and years later. So as far as benefits go for our residency program, we do receive a cafeteria stipend and have free on-site parking. We also have free counseling sessions available through our GME office as well. We have a new parent elective, and we have some very flexible elective time as well for things that come up in life. We are a fairly young hospital with fairly young facilities, which means that we have pretty good equipment, ample workspaces, and generally an administration that is very open to growth with our program and immersing us within the growth of their hospital as well, which is really, really great. We have a very strong simulation program. We have a great kind of community as well. We have two local airports because we are on the border. So we have the El Paso airport and then we have the Ciudad Juarez airport. So you can get very cheap flights if you want to go on your tropical vacations as well. I think that is the majority of the highlights of our program. I hope that you guys will give us a consideration in your planning efforts. We will be hosting a virtual open house to highlight more about our program on August 28th. That should be the Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month. We'll put more about that on our Instagram page. And of course, you are free to reach out to us via that Instagram page or our email address and program. So please give us a consideration. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wright and Dr. Gutierrez. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next program. I welcome the representative from Baylor College of Medicine, Dr. Wolf, if you'd like to get us started.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And again, let me echo the praise that the organizers for this really deserve. It's a huge amount of work to put any event together and to have this many parts of it all moving at the same time so smoothly. I've been participating in this for years and it gets better every time. So thank you for inviting us. My name is Adam Wolf. I'm a hematologist oncologist by training, and that's my clinical work. And then for the last 3 years, I've been the program director for the Baylor College of Medicine residency program in San Antonio. So we're a smaller affiliate to the large program, which is probably on a different FPR webinar in Houston. That's the big Baylor program. I've been with the program since we were founded. We're a somewhat younger program. We started in 2014. We began training residents in 2015. A little bit about me. My wife Beth and I have 4 kids, and actually 2 of them like to Zoom bomb. So if they come running back here, you'll see them. My favorite things to do are cooking and baking, which is what I was doing right before this webinar, and probably will go back to doing when we're done. I also have with us Dr. Kat Areola. She is one of our PGY3 residents and actually has been selected to be one of our chief residents for next year. So for those of you that might choose to come to our program, she will be one of your chiefs. I'm going to have her introduce herself a little more. I'm going to save a minute or two at the end here for that. And you've heard a little bit already about how great San Antonio is. And we are one of the always among the 10 fastest growing cities in the country. Many of those cities are in Texas, frankly. But we have this ever rising census and ever rising busy clinical space that gives our residents an opportunity to see some of the most complex and vulnerable patients in our region. Our campus is located right downtown. So we're within walking distance of the Riverwalk and a lot of nightlife, a lot of great restaurants and things to do. And our hospital, Christus Health, is the descendant of the very first medical facility in a 300-year-old city. And they've been there for 154 years. So there's this great relationship with the community that I just never saw when I worked. I was originally from the upper Midwest, but people didn't have that kind of relationship with their hospitals. So I always thought that was really cool. You can see here that we also have an X+Y schedule. We are in our third year of that. Our schedule is actually it's 4 + 2 + 2. So our blocks are 8 weeks long, and we switch residents between 4-week, 2-week, and 2-week blocks. And I want to talk a little bit about that Y block. So you've heard mentioned how wonderful X+Y can be for wellness for residents. I have to agree with that. I'm biased, of course, because we're doing it too. But the wellness aspect has been amazing, and I'm going to let Kat mention that when she speaks up in a minute. What we did with our Y blocks, so 2 out of every 8 weeks, our residents are in a Y ambulatory rotation, and we're doing that in preparation for the new ACGME program requirements that are going to expect residents to spend 1/3 of their time in ambulatory settings. So we're already at 1/4, and we actually have several other ambulatory components outside of that. And we really focus in on primary care, general pediatric practice, as well as acute care management. We have a longitudinal mental health curriculum that's now in its 3rd year, which is also housed in that part of the schedule. We also have a simulation curriculum and a wellness curriculum that are all folded in with our Y blocks. During those times, residents have no night responsibilities, no backup call, no cross coverage, and no weekends, which means they know that every 2 weeks they're going to have, every 8 weeks, they're going to have a 2-week period where they are going to have a much kind of lighter schedule. And within that time, they can schedule a lot of their own personal activities and needs as well. And people have really appreciated that from a wellness perspective. Our program being immersed right within the community and really mission focused toward taking care of the most vulnerable patients. Just started a year ago or so, we started a relationship with a local shelter called St. PJ's, which houses children who are either in the custody of immigration, who are unaccompanied minors, or they are foster children awaiting placement by CPS, and they live at the St. PJ's shelter. Our hospital actually built a small clinic within the shelter, and our faculty and our residents rotate out there to help take care of those patients on a weekly basis, actually several times a week. So that's actually a component of not only our advocacy program, but our continuity clinic. And so, and we're about to create another partnership with another organization in town pretty soon. So that gives you a sense sort of the advocacy focus and the focus on the heart for the underserved. We also have an academic half day on Fridays. That focuses on board preparation. So the whole curriculum is really grounded in the American Board of Pediatrics content outline. So we want to make sure our residents are ready for the knowledge base of practice. And one hour of that academic half day every week is an hour of practicing board questions. We do it as a whole group. We let the residents coach each other. Sometimes it's usually gamified. There are usually prizes. We try to make it fun. And then I'm going to skip some of this stuff because I think that I will run out of time. I will say in the past, we've been asked to come up with 3 words to describe our programs. And I would say that our program is supportive, resident-centered with a hyphen, 1 word, and innovative. The people who succeed the most are the residents who can come in and tell us, oh my God, tell us what they want, and then help us customize the curriculum to meet those needs. So I'm so sorry, Kat. I thought I had a minute left. I couldn't.
I'm Kat. Nice to meet you guys. I echo everything that he said. But yes, the camaraderie in our program is really special. And I will say, as far as supportive, you can't go anywhere else better than here. So everything he said, I agree with.
Thank you. Sorry, I ran over.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wolf and Dr. Areola. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next program. We welcome Driscoll Children's Dr. Huckabee. If you'd like to start us off, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Huckabee. I am the program director at Driscoll Children's Hospital. It's my 4th year as program director this year, and I'm excited to chat with you all tonight. I think Driscoll is an amazing place to be a resident. I am born and raised here in Corpus. I left for college and med school and residency and quite a while after that, and was drawn back home about 7 years ago now. And I was really excited to come back. Driscoll is such a staple here in South Texas. We have a huge service area of 2.5 million children in South Texas. Most of those are rural and underserved, and we have a very large migrant population as well. And so our patients in our community have very diverse healthcare needs, and our residents at Driscoll are some of the front line in caring for them. Our service area is very large, and so we serve our patients here in Corpus Christi, but we also have satellite clinics for our subspecialists in Victoria, in Laredo, and in the Rio Grande Valley. And our residents are able to travel to those areas and see patients closer to home. And that is something that Driscoll has really been working to do, is to provide more care for patients closer to home. And it's really cool that our residents get to be a part of that, get to hop on the plane and fly down there and see what it's like to be a subspecialist working in a really large service area. Our program is another program that does not have any pediatric fellowships. I think that's a great place to train because you are frontline for all of the patient encounters, all of the procedures, and you really get that one-on-one relationship with all of your faculty to help develop and grow as a physician. And with those relationships, our residents do very well in the fellowship match with almost 100% match rate over the last 7 years that I've been here, which is really exciting to see them go off. And our residents develop such strong relationships with Driscoll that we see a ton of our alumni either stay in our community as general pediatricians or go off and train as fellows and then come back as subspecialty faculty later. Our residents are very well supported within our program with generous education fund, free meals, free parking. We have alumni support to send residents all over the country for presentations or to help them apply to publish their work in a variety of venues. And our residents are so involved in the actual administration of our program through our different resident teams, helping us manage recruitment, our retreat and team building efforts, our social programs, and our wellness curriculum. And one of the really fun things that we have, multiple medical students rotate here, and we own several houses right behind our parking lot. And one of those houses has a converted area to be our wellness office. So if you need to get away, have a moment of wellness, a wellness meeting or other sort of meeting, you can actually step out of the main hospital and get a little bit different environment to get to those wellness pursuits instead of just being in the hospital conference room down the hall from the million other things you have to do during your day. Our residents have very strong participation in advocacy efforts within our community. We have a strong relationship with a local migrant shelter where our residents do lots of programming, including annual Christmas parties. These are kids who are here for a short amount of time, typically without parents or family locally, and are waiting to get to a final destination somewhere in the US. So it's great for our residents to be able to be there and support them. And then through our other community clinics and involvement, they're able to care for those patients during their adolescent rotation, their continuity rotation, and in other clinical arenas. I think other things that are really exciting about Driscoll, we have a very robust quality improvement curriculum led by one of our APDs. Our research activities increase every year with our residents presenting and publishing. Our faculty is so supportive of ensuring that residents get the activities they need to be successful in their career with strong mentorship. We have really worked to beef up our justice in medicine curriculum, which includes some DEI topics, ethics, and just some other topics that don't fit into kind of our mainstream didactic curriculum. And one of the highlights of our year is our advocacy week in the spring, where our residents pick a topic to focus on for the week. And we always end it with our international potluck to help us celebrate the diversity in our residency. Corpus is a fabulous place to live. It's a nice medium-sized city here on the coast. And I mean, I grew up here, I'm a beach girl. I can't imagine being anywhere else.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Huckabee. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next program. We welcome our wonderful Lady of Our Lake team to start us off.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Roy. I have the pleasure of being the residency program director here. We are, like all of you, a medium-sized program. We have 12 residents per year, so we have 36 plus our 2 chief residents who stick around for another year with us. We are located in the capital of Louisiana in Baton Rouge, which is a fun city to live in. And I've brought some friends to talk to y'all since I've had the pleasure of getting to do this year after year. And again, I have to give kudos to all of the students who help arrange this. I agree with Dr. Wolf, just gets better and better every year. So first I'm going to introduce Dr. Holland, who's one of our previous grads and now runs our primary care track and is one of the attendings at our pediatric academic center clinic, which is where our residents do the majority of their continuity clinics.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Roy. So I'm Missy Holland. Just like Dr. Roy said, I'm a general pediatrician. I graduated from this program. My main job is being a general pediatrician, also working with the residents in the continuity clinic. And I also work in our weight nutrition clinic, which is focuses on obesity management and pediatrics. So that's a little bit about me, but it's an honor to talk about our program. I trained here. I'm not from here. I'm actually from Florida originally, but I've just had such a great experience in my training and living here and just living in Baton Rouge in general. And it's just been great. So here I am still. Just to talk a little bit more about what our program offers. So we, for starters, we do have an X+Y schedule that we just started July 1st, which we're really proud of, and we're excited to be rolling out. I see one of our residents behind me shaking their head. Yes. We have a beautiful children's hospital, as you can see in the picture. It was built in 2019. Our program does go back a little bit further, though. We started it in 2010 and graduated the first class in 2013. And so it's been growing ever since. What's nice, I think, about our program, many things, but one thing is that most of all your rotations as a resident are housed in our children's hospital in this building. So that includes your NICU, your PICU, your hospital service, your ER, and all the specialties have their clinic attached in the building next to it, the medical office building attached to it. So it's a great house for all the residents to be. We do have a level 2 trauma center for our pediatric emergency room. And we also have a St. Jude clinic. So that's one of 8 St. Jude affiliate clinics in the nation. So we're really proud of that as well. And then although we're community-based, I think that we have a really strong academic component as well. We have LSU, which is Louisiana State University medical students, as well as Tulane medical students who rotate with us, both 3rd year, most of the time also 4th year students. We have acting interns with us frequently. We also work with family medicine residents who are in neighboring programs and psychiatry residents as well in our program. So we have a lot of teaching and learning from each other, and I think that's just a great aspect of our program. We also do a lot of community partnerships. For instance, we do health centers and care in schools. We work closely with Pennington Research Center, which is a prestigious research center in the area on obesity medicine. Being in the capital, it's a great way to promote advocacy in medicine. So that's another great tip. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it to one of our chief residents. This is Kyra. So
yes. So the one thing, I'm also not from here, I'm from Ohio, but the one thing I loved about my interview with this program was how supportive I felt the program was. Then I came and fell in love with the people. We really are a very close-knit family. We can text each other, the attendings and residents, at any point of time. And we really just all really treat each other like brother and sister. So I really enjoy that, and that's why I decided to stay on as chief. So we have very supportive faculty, very strong mentorship I'm currently applying to pediatric GI, and it's been a blessing to basically have a great like interview like offer cycle, and I contribute that to, you know, my mentors here that I've been able to meet, and then obviously like my GI mentors as well. And then I'll let Bruno go ahead and say some things.
Hey guys, I'm Bruno Silva. I'm a current third year. I'm actually one of the primary care chiefs as well. So just to give you some resident perspective, I came as a fourth year student. What got me to absolutely fall in love with this place is the people, first of all, very supportive. Another thing I just want to let the residents know is that we do not have fellows. We do have some that kind of rotate with us on occasion, which is a great learning opportunity. But really, we're firsthand for everything, for every procedure, for every medical decision. So it's really important that, we have that experience.
Thank y'all.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to go ahead and move into our last program for the evening. We welcome the University of Arkansas. Dr. Cass, would you like to start us off, please?
Yeah, great. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Oryaku Cass-Osoka. I am the current pediatric residency program director here at UAMS. So we are not really medium. I would say we are classified somewhere between medium and large. We actually have 25 residents per year. We are a huge academic institution. We are not only sponsored by UAMS, but also by Arkansas Children's, which is the only children's hospital in Arkansas. So you can imagine what that looks like. We cover a large catchment area. You're going to have experience with not only the typical urban population or suburban population, but also a lot of rural population comes in to see us pretty consistently and gets their care here with us in Arkansas Children's. We have over 330 beds and we continue to grow. We're in the process of revamping our children's hospital now, and we have a lot of growth happening in the next year or so. So you're going to see some new buildings and some changes to the front of our hospital, which we're really excited about. If you can think it, we have it. To be honest, we're very well equipped to kind of take care of everyone's education needs, whether you're transitioning into or interested in fellowship versus being a general pediatrician. You can do it and be successful here at our institution. We have 2 fully resident-run outpatient clinics, and then we have more than 10 subspecialties. Pretty much every subspecialty is covered here, but from a fellowship standpoint, we are on the growth end, and every year we've expanded to another fellowship, with GI fellowship actually happening this upcoming year. We also have a pretty well-established SIM center that we use most typically during our academic half days, as well as during our ER rotations. Some of the other things that you have the opportunity to experience over at UAMS are our level 3 NICU, as well as our mother and baby unit. We have a dedicated milk lab, so lots of different opportunities there with both ICN and nursery. One of the beautiful things about Little Rock is it's pretty much a hidden gem. Most people don't really know that much about it, but when you come here, you get sucked in. Most of the people come here, they stay here, and they are here for a long time. So you have people who have trained here or have trained elsewhere, come here for fellowship and stayed on as faculty. People truly, truly love this institution, not only just inside our institution, but inside the community. We are pretty well known by the community as a source of just energy and love, support. I think when we think about our program, what we truly are supportive. We bring things back to our community. We're very community oriented and focused with a huge advocacy curriculum. And we kind of really try to make sure that our patients can see themselves in us. We've increased our diversity significantly over the last few years, and will continue to do so as we continue to progress. We have just so many exciting things that I think, like, if you guys just check this out, even on Instagram, you'll see all the great things that our residents are doing, as well as what our program has to offer. And I think I can speak for every PD on here, we really value our resident input, their ability to participate in our committees, and also give us feedback on where we're headed for our curriculum, especially with our ACGME changes. And so I think our residents make the most impact in our residency program. And so for us, that's the beauty of our program, is truly our residents. Our faculty, they're cool too, but our residents really make up what our program is. And so I hope you get an opportunity to come check us out. And my two chiefs are on here, so I'll just let them say hi in case you have any questions specifically for them.
Hey y'all, I'm Colette. I'm originally from Louisiana and ventured up to Arkansas for a residency. Please reach out if you have any questions at all.
Hey guys, my name's Hannah. I'm also one of the Peach Chiefs, along with Colette, and actually our counterpart Devin isn't able to be on tonight. I'm also originally from Louisiana and came up here to Arkansas for residency and just fell in love with it. And so please reach out, and you can reach out to us on Instagram, via email. Don't hesitate. It's been a wonderful place for us to come and grow together and learn so much. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be able to work more towards the future of what's coming for us next. So thanks for having us here.
And that was not planned to have two people from Louisiana. It just happened.
It worked out. Thank you so much, everyone. That concludes the program overview portion of the evening. We will now open the floor to any questions as part of the live Q&A session. If anyone prefers to remain anonymous, please send a direct message to me or Diana, and we will go ahead and address your questions to our program representatives. So we have started off with the first question regarding what do program directors look for in a candidate when deciding on application and interview decisions. So thank you, Dr. Wolf and Dr. Gutierrez, for the response. Dr. Tom, your response may have been cut off.
I keep trying to type into it and then it gets rid of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
Lorena
no.
probably thinks I'm crazy.
So if you'd like to
I'm
speak
sorry.
it up.
Thank you. I think so. Thank you for asking that, Lorena. I think that so much of it really depends on, every program is a little bit different, but I can echo a little bit of what Adam said about, I think it's really important that the fit for each program and for you. I think that a residency applicant, it's kind of like you don't really understand it until you start to interview places, and then you just have this feeling that you're like, I belong there, or I feel like I'm one of those people. And I very much felt that when I was on my interview trail in places that I didn't feel necessarily like, I was like, I don't know why I don't feel a connection there, and then other places I did. So for our program at UT Health in San Antonio, I really think that we really very much embrace the idea of it, like inclusive, team-minded mindset amongst our residents. It is our residents understand, our faculty understand that the patient and their family are the most important people in the room, but that they can't get well, and we can't provide the best care unless we're all healthy too, as a residency class, as a faculty group, as even with our staff. So we do a lot of team building to make sure that that communication and inclusivity happens. And I think in looking at everyone's application, everyone has something valuable to offer to a program. And for us, it's really digging through and seeing what it is that you bring, and if you align with the values of our specific program. And I think a lot of program directors feel that way, that we want to be the fit for you, just like you want to be the fit for us. So, I think personal responsibility and team-mindedness and all those things are wonderful, but it's really about aligning values.
Thank you. We do have another question. Someone asked if they should take the IMG percentage into account when applying.
I mean, we have a large portion of IMGs in our class. I think it's something that is going to be a little bit of an individual decision for everybody. And in programs, it's probably going to fluctuate a lot from year to year based on what the match looked like, who interviewed, who's interested in our service area, and again, who is that good fit for a program. I will say, being in a program with a lot of IMGs, we have so much diversity. We learn so much about different cultures. And I think even though we're primarily relating to patients in, just a few demographics here in South Texas, being able to relate with each other as residents within our program helps develop those skills to have more empathy for patients, to have more understanding of them coming from another culture, and to just broaden your own horizons and learn new things about the world that you will then take into your management of patients wherever your career ends up.
Thank you. Our next question is, how does your program consider geographic preferences and program signals?
I can take that one. I think it's similar to the FIT. So I think that knowing that maybe our program is a program that an applicant would signal in a geographic location where they're interested. I think that that's a great opportunity to see, well, maybe this is a person who we may have not had on our radar, but allows an opportunity for us to kind of look at that person's application a little bit closer to see if they are a good fit. Because I echo what all of the other program directors have also said. That's really the main goal for us to find applicants who want to be for me in Galveston. In the Galveston area, and then vice versa, for us to be that program that is going to really fit the needs of that applicant as well.
I would also throw in there that it's really important that program directors or whoever's reviewing your application is able to tell that if you're really interested in where they are, that you somehow communicate it. And I think the addition of geographing and signaling has given you more tools in order to do that. So I mean, I would use the example of, prior to there being geo preferences, we had an applicant from the East Coast who we didn't initially extend an interview to, offer to, only because nothing was wrong with her application, only because there was nothing in the application that indicated that she had any interest in coming to San Antonio. And only because one of her mentors in med school happened to be a friend of mine who reached out and said, hey, this applicant is really interested in San Antonio. Did we interview that person? She wound up having all kinds of reasons, but there was nowhere to put it in the old ARIS application. And so we were really lucky we got to meet this person, and we did wind up matching and training that resident. Now we have the ability to tell better what it is you're looking for. And I think just like every other tool in ARIS, sometimes people overthink it and try to make it into strategy, but really, I urge you to be just like, think genuinely about where do you want to be? And if you want to be in a particular place, find a way within all those new parts of the ARIS application to indicate that that's a place that you'd like to be. And I think that's really, it creates more opportunity for you to communicate with programs before they have a chance to meet you in person.
All right, thank you so much for those responses. We have another question. Should I consider the year of graduation cutoff for programs, and what can I do to ensure that I don't get filtered out?
I think important something we should have been doing in they have on it is really important that what have you been doing now, and really kind of making sure that you're still doing some type of clinical work, seeing patients, being to date. That is an important thing to make sure that is conveyed.
Thank you, Dr. Gutierrez. We're approaching the end of our session, so we have time for one more question. This is a question that we received in the chat as well. What opportunities does your program specifically offer for research, and how do residents navigate this throughout their training if they're considering applying for fellowships?
So
Go ahead, Dr. Kuss.
Specifically in our program, I think we have worked really hard to build a research curriculum. We give 2 weeks of research initially in your intern year, which gives you opportunity to meet with people, find mentors, figure out what type of research you might want to do, whether that's educational, whether it's QI, whether it's bench clinical, whatever it looks like, and start to meet with people who can help you go down that road. And we've tried to help our interns specifically build relationships early on. And then we have other attendings who are very well equipped to handle managing and taking on residents to help them build the research portion of their career at this stage. And so we've had the opportunity to really help people excel in that area. Most of our residents, if not all, will present or publish by the time they finish residency.
I think that's one of the advantages of being in these medium to large size programs is it's close knit enough that we encourage our interns to start having those discussions with us very early on, recognizing that some people maybe have not had any research experience, whereas other people come in, already with some strong ideas of things they would like to participate in, but really don't know just the breadth of resources and connections. And so I think that starting to have those conversations early on, your faculty mentors, your program director and leadership can start to plug you in with various specific mentors, specific opportunities that are at your own hospital or might even be within your community or a nearby, research facility that, for example, like we have a great relationship with, and a lot of our residents don't even know all of those opportunities until they get here and we start having some of those conversations. So just start the conversation early and don't be afraid to be vulnerable and say that scholarly activity is kind of a newer endeavor for you. We can turn anybody into a researcher.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that the most important thing, if that's an interest of yours, wherever you go, is just to be vocal about it. And at our program, we have one of our associate program directors is the associate program director for research. And so he meets with every resident at the beginning of their intern year to gauge any interest in that they have and then try and plug them in with specific faculty. So I think that each program likely has the capability to help you if that's something that you need and something that you want and you're looking for. So I just vocalize that early.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the wonderful discussion. Concludes the session for Breakout Room 1. We'll now be heading back to the main room for closing. A huge thank you to all our wonderful program directors, program coordinators, and residents who took the time of their evening to be here tonight.
Welcome everybody to room 2 of the Southern Region Medium Programs webinar. My name is Sheena Bedi. My pronouns are she, her. I am an international medical graduate from D.Y. Patil Medical College, India. I'm serving as the Associate Director of Webinars for FPR this season, and I will be your moderator this evening. I would just like to let you know that all these breakout rooms are being recorded, so in case you miss out on any of them, you can always go back to our YouTube page and check them out. And I would also like to introduce our wonderful webinar assistant director who's working hard behind the scene tonight, Ria.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ria Peralta. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Nova Southeastern University and super excited for everything we have going on tonight.
I would now like to invite our program representatives to give a short presentation of their programs for the first 5 minutes for the first part of this evening, and then we will be taking questions at the end of all the presentations. Attendees, you can, however, leave your questions in the chat as we go, but we do encourage program representatives to make use of the chat to answer any of the questions if they can. To ensure that all programs are adequately represented, each presentation is limited to 5 minutes. I will be sharing a timer on my screen throughout the presentations to help with tracking. And our first program of the evening is Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. I would like to invite your representative to unmute themselves and tell us all about your program.
Good evening. I'm Mary Beth Robleski. I'm the Pediatric Residency Program Director at All Children's Hospital. Liz Savick, one of our program administrators, is also on tonight. So if there are questions that she'll be able to answer or insights that she can also give about our program or our city. But we are located in sunny St. Petersburg, Florida. And Probably many people haven't been to St. Petersburg. I had not until I came here about a year ago. But I think one of the great things about our program is also its location. It is in a larger city in the Tampa Bay area, but it's very safe. The hospital is located downtown, and our downtown is livable, workable, and walkable and safe. And so that's something I think that's a little unique to some children's hospitals. Johns Hopkins All Children's was ranked as the #1 children's hospital in the state of Florida with US News and World Report. We are a freestanding children's hospital. Obviously, we're on tonight because we're a medium-sized program. So we admit 12 residents per year into categorical pediatrics. And now this year we started our child neurology residency program. So we have 2 child neurology residents that will be with us for, or 1 that will be with us for the first 2 years before they complete the rest of their training. We also have numerous fellowship programs and have been successful in opening new fellowship programs every year for the past few years. So you can see them on the screen. We have neonatology, hospital medicine, palliative care. And then in hematology oncology, we have the general hematology oncology plus extra fellowships in bone marrow and peds neuro-oncology. Peds critical care, cardiology, and emergency medicine is starting their program this coming year and recruiting. So it's a place that is growing quickly in medical education. Some of the things that are really highlights, I think, of our program. The program was really developed on a platform of creating the next leaders in pediatric medicine, not just through learning great patient care, but also through personal and professional development. And so we do have a unique curriculum, a Lead the Pack curriculum, which takes place in the fall. It is a full 2-week curriculum for interns and a 1-week curriculum each year for 2nd and 3rd years to build on skills that you need to be a great physician in this day and age, other than just great patient care skills, but understanding business skills, personal development, your leadership style, how you work well with teams, how to overcome imposter syndrome, and how to be a lifelong learner. So these are just some of the things that our residents will get in this seminar type series that they attend each year. The other thing is, we have a lot of great faculty members, a lot of subspecialists, specialty care with a cardiovascular ICU, a dedicated congenital diaphragmatic hernia unit where people come from all over the world to deliver their babies here for the specialized care that we can provide, as well as great general pediatric care. All the faculty here are faculty through Johns Hopkins in Baltimore as well. So you have the resources not only of living and working in a safe city in Florida, but all of the resources that you would also have through Johns Hopkins University. Libraries, our residents have the opportunity to rotate in Baltimore at certain rotations if they should choose to do so, and then access to resources and faculty also there. Liz, do you want to add anything?
I think you're doing a really great job. Along with the LEAD program, we also have we're starting up a coaching program, we've started that last 2 years. So we're really amping up the new coaching program. And then along with that, we also have it's called Pause Week and Wrap Week. And so for our 2nd years, it's a patient experience week, and they get to go to all different parts of the hospital. And then for Wrap Week, it's for the interns, and they kind of get to wrap up their intern year and have small little things to go into 2nd year. So those are a few of the other fun, unique things for our program.
And look at that, 27 seconds to spare.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wroblewski and Elizabeth, for letting us know what your program has to offer. Our next program of the evening is Nemours Children's Hospital Pediatric Residency Program, and I would really like your representative to unmute themselves and talk about your program.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. My name's David Hash. I'm one of the associate program directors at Nemours. I have one of our chief residents, Jamar Borland, on with us. You may have heard in the bigger meeting, I mentioned that Dr. Bria is out of the country and on vacation. So everybody stuck with me tonight. Nemours, we're a little bit different. We are located in Orlando. We are a newer hospital, just opened in 2012, a freestanding children's hospital, but really built with the idea that we were launching residency and then fellowships right out of the gate. So we're going into our 8th year of residency programs. We currently have fellowships this year in pediatric pulmonology, EM, endocrinology, hospital medicine. We're launching infectious disease. We expect cardiology, GI to be following in the next few years. So we're rapidly growing. Last year, we moved up to taking 16 residents per year. We were taking 12. So we're still in a growth phase. We are a medium-sized pediatric ER. We get about 41,000 visits per year, a lot of international and US travelers coming through Orlando, which makes it a pretty interesting place to practice. What probably makes us a little bit different than most programs is we do have a little bit more of a research bend. Our residents actually have a research requirement, but we kind of put you through, we kind of walk you through that with lectures and a lot of mentoring. Our continuity clinic is in downtown Orlando, so it's about 20 minutes away from the hospital and in a more urban setting. We do not do tracks at Nemours. We try to individualize everything for your specific needs and what your professional plan is. And we have a very family-oriented culture. We also have very dedicated units. We have inpatient rehab beds, which you cover while you're on the regular inpatient service. We have a unique cardiac care unit that includes everything from the cardiac ORs to the cath labs to the step-down ICU level rooms. We have an outpatient infusion center, level 4 PICU, NICU, all of those things. Jamar, if you're here, do you want to take a minute to talk about some of our resident wellness stuff?
Yeah, of course. Hey guys, again, I'm Jamar Borling, one of the chief residents at Nemours Children's Hospital in Orlando. But yeah, I agree with everything Dr. Hash said. In addition, we do have a lot of resident wellness things. One big thing for me, which I know is important for other people, is having really like $0 out-of-pocket mental health services is really good. It's pretty much has always been affordable, and now $0 out of pocket at our program for, a lot of people take advantage of that. We also do get meal stipends to go to our cafeteria and all our food areas at Nemours Children's Hospital. So we never really have to worry about paying for anything like that. Lunch, breakfast, dinner, all those things are accessible to us. And then we also it's really good to have free on-site parking very close by the hospital, no problems there. And then we do get a wellness stipend. That's a new thing. I think our program really had added about a year ago, where we get money to really spend on things considered wellness, whether that's going to the gym, going to a concert, anything like that. And it really has made a big difference. And then I'll talk about is like Dr. Hash said, our program is definitely very modern, as well as our hospital, and the way it looks very state of the art the equipment, but even the feel of our resident area as well. It really it's really homey, it's very family oriented. We're able to be around there while having all the offices in the area for the program directors and associate program directors in the area have been really key for us and really helping that family orientation. So I'll stop right there. If Dr. Hash, if you have anything to add, you can go ahead.
No, I would say that the question that we get a lot is the yearly wellness stipend can be used for tickets to the theme parks. So that's been a big popular thing for our residents. As far as our curriculum, we have several specialty things that we do. We have a master's educator program that's for all associates at Nemours. We have a quality champions program. A lot of our residents and faculty like myself have gone through those. We have a really unique morning report, dedicated board review curriculum. We do a kind of a hybrid where there are still some 28-hour calls, but it's mostly a night float, and we're in process of transitioning. Probably next year, we'll go to an X+Y schedule if you're familiar with that. We do have 4 weeks of paid vacation, and in addition to that, there's extra time off anywhere from 5 to 7 days over the holidays. Time's up. I will stop. Thank you.
It does kind of sound funny, but awesome. Thank you, Dr. Hash, and thank you, Dr. Boland, for walking us through what Nemours has to offer. Our next program of the evening is University of South Florida. I would like to invite your program representative to please unmute themselves and walk us through your program.
Hi, you guys. My name is Sharon DeBrow. I am the program director for USF, and I think Kelly is also on, and one of my chiefs may be on as well. So welcome. I know this is a pretty overwhelming night for all of you students because you're going to hear so much about our awesome programs in Florida and in the Southeast region. So I'll try to highlight a few things. One of the things that makes USF unique is that we are at 2 programs. We are at both Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital that you've already heard from their PD, as well as Tampa General at USF. So you get the opportunity to be both at a freestanding children's hospital as well as a large community/academic hospital. You spend a couple of months in the NICU as interns, and we have a very large NICU at Tampa General. You get to spend time in both PICUs at All Children's and Tampa General, and you get to spend time in both emergency rooms. Your ward time is also at both hospitals. So it's really a nice opportunity to spend time and learn from a variety of attendings. We have very busy outpatient clinics. We have 2 awesome continuity clinics that are primarily urban, that have a mix of both Medicaid and children that are non-Medicaid. So it's nice to have that opportunity. And we have a longitudinal clinical experience. And that is pretty unusual in programs, but it allows you for your 2nd and 3rd year to spend time either in a subspecialty clinic during certain rotations or in a primary care clinic in the community, or as well as a complex care clinic. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to almost have a mini fellowship before you decide if you want to be a fellow. About 40% of our residents choose to do fellowships, and about 60% go on to do primary care. Something else that's unique about our program is we have a Med Peds program as well. So we have 12 interns each year in pediatrics and 5 in Med Peds. So that's really nice because you get to interact with the medicine folks as well as the pediatric folks, and it adds a great deal of diversity to our program. You have a lot of benefits similar to what the programs before just talked about. We have an awesome mental health program called WRAP, as well as a variety of excellent benefits for use for each of your years here. As far as fellowship programs, we have both neonatology and allergy immunology that we pretty much have folks almost every year choose to go into and often choose to stay. We are also very involved with the Florida AAP. We have a very good advocacy rotation for interns, and then we often have 2nd or 3rd years very involved with the AAP. We've had leadership statewide in that resident section over the past many years. One of the best things, though, about being in Tampa is being in Tampa, having the opportunity to be in Tampa Bay, which has great sports teams, great restaurants, awesome things to do, and has the opportunity to spend time at the beach and do other things in Florida. Lastly, before I let Kelly say a few words, is our wellness program. We have a pretty unique Harry Potter house experience where you're each assigned to a house when you start out as interns, and you stay in that house with your mentor, with your big sib, and you get points over the course of your 3 years for wellness. And it's a pretty complicated, but a pretty awesome experience for our residents for all 3 years. So I'll be happy to take questions later on, Kelly or Jasmine. If you guys have anything else you want to add, feel free.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and let Jasmine speak first, our chief resident. And then if there's any time left, I'll go ahead and say a few words.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Jasmine. I'm one of the chief residents at USF. I will echo everything Dr. DeBrow said. I was in your shoes not too long ago, and so I know how overwhelming all of this can be. And so I think, trying to tease out various differences in the different programs and just seeing where you guys will all fit in, just from my personal experience, just having gone through it, being at a medium-sized program, you are very close with your co-residents. And, we have these wellness half days where we all get to hang out, but We also get a stipend through our GME where it's about $50 a resident every year where we can spend it how we like. And a lot of times we get to do things together, whether that's going to Busch Gardens or just grabbing food somewhere, doing like a hibachi dinner night or something like that. And so that's always really fun and everyone's always really great. And yeah, I just want to reiterate that definitely going to the two different areas of being at more community hospital at Tampa General versus more of like a standalone children's hospital at All Children's definitely provides really great education and really helps you be prepared for kind of anywhere you want to go after residency. And so I think that's something that's really unique about our program. And I don't see your timer, so I'm assuming that I talked over it. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Thank you, Dr. Dubrow and Dr. Sharistani. It was so nice knowing what USF has to offer. And our next program of the evening is Orlando Health. I would request your program representative to please unmute yourself and walk us through your program.
Hello, my name is Mariam Zaini. I'm one of the associate program directors for Orlando Health Arnold Palmer Hospital, and I have with me today our rising chiefs as well. I'll give them an opportunity in a moment to introduce themselves. We'll just go over some quick program highlights. So we are a freestanding children's hospital within a larger hospital system, and we do have a variety of pediatric subspecialists as well as multiple fellowships. We have 5 fellowship programs within our program, and we are also expanding. So we're adding pediatric hospital medicine within the next year as well. We also have really strong broad types of different curriculum. So we have a really strong wellness curriculum, humanism curriculum. Our residents also participate in coaching. We have, as a lot of the other programs mentioned, a strong emphasis on kind of camaraderie within our program. And I think that definitely helps us stand out. Our residents do retreat each year as well and get time away together and really form strong bonds. We also have an advisor program as well to help kind of guide residents through their residency journey as well. We also have a very strong diversity and health equity curriculum and council within our program on both the graduate medical education hospital system wide, as well as within the residency program. And we have a variety of diversity events that we host within our residency program, from like Cultural Food Day to different community outreach programs like a high school service day, as well as going within the community to elementary schools in underserved areas and kind of having strong bonds within our community as well. We also do offer scholarships for underrepresented and medicine minorities as well for MS4s who are rotating with us. We do health equity conferences each month, and we also have a really strong advocacy rotation where residents get out into the community and really get to understand the resources available to our patients as well. In addition to those things, we have a simulation curriculum, which has been established, but we're continuing to broaden and expand, and as well as a procedure curriculum that is we're incorporating in that as well. And then we have a heavy emphasis as well on quality improvement within our program, and a lot of resources to help residents get published and have projects as well that they can participate in and really make a meaningful difference within our institution and our Orlando as a whole. We have 16 residents a year. We just expanded our program from 14 to 16. So again, a small, close-knit community where everybody knows each other and it truly has a family feel. And I myself was a resident at Arnold Palmer as well. So it's been really beautiful to be a part of this program now for many years. With that, I will go ahead and hand it over to our rising chiefs to introduce themselves and add anything else that they'd like to add about our program.
Hi everyone, I'm Geraldine. I'm currently a PGY3, but I will be chief next year. Just like Dr. Zaini said, at least for me, the most important part was the diversity initiatives that we have been doing with our program. I'm actually the president of the Diversity Council this year as well. So it's been really fun. I started when I was an intern, seeing how much it's grown over the last few years and how involved we get with our community. And that's been something that I personally enjoy a lot. And then another emphasis that I want to put out there is we have a lot of resources for new QI projects, and that's very, very heavily encouraged. I'm actually on the QI project that Dr. Zaini mentioned about the procedures with Jean, my other rising co-chief. And we just have so many opportunities to do new projects. I'm actually also starting a new baby class in Spanish. And, you know, with our population in Orlando, that's something that was missing. So, and we have all our attendings that support us and kind of want to see us succeed, and they help us with anything they can. And then, of course, for resident wellness, we do have access to the doctor's lounge. And on top of that, we have a meal stipend. So as other programs, we don't have to worry about cooking or having to come home early and make your meal for the next day. But overall, I love Orlando Health and Arnold Palmer. I will let my future co-chief Jean introduce himself as well, if he's able to. He's actually on a rotation right now in service.
I'm on call, but luckily not receiving any calls currently. I'm Jean, in the same position as Geraldine. Since we only have 10 seconds left, if you have any specific questions, feel free to just message me. We'll get back with any answers.
Nice. Right on time. Thank you, Dr. Zini, and to all the chief residents who walked us through what Orlando Health has to offer. And our next program for the evening is Advent Health for Children. I would like to request your program representative to please unmute themselves and talk about your program.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shawnee Cunningham. I am the program director at Advent Health for Children in Orlando, Florida. This is our first year in the Medium Program webinar because we are an expanding program. We had 6 per year up until this past year, where we matched our first class of 12 interns. And so our full complement will be at 36, and we're really excited to share that with you all tonight. I am actually a pediatric hospitalist in addition to being the program director, and I'm joined tonight by our associate program director, Dr. Samantha Carroll, who's also on the call. I think the strength of our program is definitely the diversity that we have in our residency class and in our faculty. We have a very strong faculty, and also very proud to say that we've had a 100% board pass rate for our last 3 graduating classes, in addition to 100% fellowship match rate for all for our last 12 years of our program, since its inception. So we're really excited about that. And I think one of the most important things that I would love to emphasize is the culture of the program overall. It's definitely a culture where everyone is welcome, but also we're all excited to see each other, spend time together outside of the hospital, and help each other, no matter what it is. The residents are so supportive of one another, as are the faculty. In terms of highlights from our curriculum, I think we definitely have electives that you can take in teaching, advocacy, but global health is something that we also offer opportunities to travel to Lima, Peru, to Guam, and to Dominican Republic. And these can happen longitudinally throughout your residency career with us, or as an elective, a full elective for a 4-week block. We have 2 continuity clinic sites, one that is about 4 minutes from the hospital and another one that is about 20 minutes from the hospital. And the difference there is our patient population. We do monthly mock codes and emergency preparedness to help you guys stay on your toes and be ready. And we also have weekly board review questions that are sent out every week. Those questions are also reviewed at a noon conference every block. In terms of our diversity and equity and inclusion initiatives, we actually do several simulations throughout the year. Most of those are done during our poopery block, and we focus really on cultural humility. We do have orientation that we started this year specifically for our international medical graduates. And then we also have a Bring Yourself to Work program where we also get to know each other, our cultural backgrounds, a little bit about our ethnicity, and also sharing in food from whatever country or ethnicity that you may represent. In terms of our wellness program, we do offer wellness days for our residents. Those days can be used as personal days if you need to go to the dentist, if you need to take your car for an oil change. We do offer the opportunity for you to do that. Meals are provided both during the week and then also when you're doing your nights and weekend calls. We do have access to mental health services. We have someone that is dedicated solely to GME. As you come into your intern year, you are required to meet with that person. It's an opt-out because we really feel that establishing that relationship early on is really important. I can't say enough about just Orlando as a city. It has everything that you would want to have in a residency program. There's obviously lots to do for fun, but food, theme parks, beaches, and then 2 international airports that are also really close to the hospital. I'm going to let Dr. Carol speak up and maybe hit on anything that I may have missed. I don't know if you're able to come off mute, Sam.
Hi, Shani. Yes, good evening. I'm Samantha Carroll. I'm the Associate Program Director. We absolutely love our program. We have amazing faculty, very dedicated faculty here. I will say a lot of our residents too, they live very close to the hospital. There's several apartment complexes, so residents are within walking distance to go to many of their rotations. I will say you do need a car for one of our continuity clinics, as it is at about a 20-minute drive. But again, we have very dedicated faculty, and we're very open to, I would say, feedback. If there's something that's not working on a rotation, we are happy to improve it and happy to work on it. And I will, I think we're at 17 seconds, so I'll turn it back to Shani.
Oh, thank you. So I guess I'll just close. We have every subspecialty. We just finished up with rheum and immunology for peds. So I think we're really well-rounded and we're excited to meet you all. Thank you, guys.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Cunningham, and thank you, Dr. Carroll, for walking us through Advent Health. Our next program of the evening is University of Maryland. And I would like to invite your program representative to please unmute themselves and walk us through your program.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Erin Gaitis, and I'm the Residency Program Director at the University of Maryland. I'm also a lifer at Maryland. We have a number of our faculty who've been here with us for a lot of years. So it tells you a lot about the program. If they come here as students and they want to stay as residents and they want to stay as faculty, I think that says a lot. And it's something I'm really proud of. But lots and lots of opportunities for everyone coming from other places as well. So we're excited to get the chance to meet all of you when you come to interview with us. I wanted to tell you some of the highlights, which is hard to do in just a few minutes. We really think the size of our program is a real plus as far as the number of residents we have and the number of faculty we have really allows for a lot of individualization. So it really allows our residents to have a lot of one-on-one mentoring. And they do some really exciting projects that I'll invite you to follow on our Instagram. We'll be spotlighting some of those great projects that our residents are involved with over the course of the next several months. We have a number of wonderful tracks and pathways, and residents do great projects in things like advocacy, social justice, research, and quality improvement. We have 15 residents per year in our categorical program, in addition to 4 per year in med-peds and 2 per year in a relatively unique pediatrics and emergency medicine combined residency program. We're proud to be only one of 4 of those in the country. So we have a total of 71 residents between all of our programs. And about a third of our residents go into primary care, subspecialty, and hospital medicine, each of those. We end up with our subspecialties, and in particular, we do have fellowships at Maryland in neonatology, critical care, infectious diseases, and gastroenterology. And that's just for our fellowship programs. And we do have all of the fellowships represented for all of the specialties, I should say, represented for our subspecialties, in addition to really strong primary care pediatrics. We're really proud of our DEI education. This has been a strength for us for a number of years. We're proud of the diversity of our program and also the diversity of what we're able to teach our residents about with our DEI efforts. We have a really great visiting elective for 4th-year students. We have a very active diversity council where we actually have health equity morning report. We have lots of other education sessions, quarterly grand rounds, monthly noon conferences. And then we also have lots of really great community efforts where we work together, all of us on the diversity council, which is a lot of fun. We are moving to an X+Y schedule, which we're excited about. We are already fully in the day-night shift schedule, which is a wonderful thing for our residents and for their wellness. And we have a beautiful 50-bed NICU that I think is really a highlight of our program. And I'm going to pause now so that my wonderful, awesome chief resident, Dr. Caroline Canute, can tell you more about our program.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Gaitis. I'm Caroline. I'm one of the chief residents at University of Maryland. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the wellness of our program, as well as our awesome location in the great city of Baltimore. So our program really focuses a lot on wellness for residents, and it's a real core value for us. That is evident in our schedule, a balanced schedule. You'll go from a hard rotation to kind of maybe a lighter outpatient rotation right now, which I think is great, as well as our emphasis on our night float system. We get 4 weeks of vacation, as well as 4 days on the holiday, plus 2 wellness days that you can take throughout the year. We also have a meal card that we can use at all of our locations, as well as free food all year round at our community hospital at Mercy, which is in downtown Baltimore, and as well as paid parking for us as residents. I think wellness has a lot to do with the culture at a residency program, and our culture is a lot of support, and as far as your co-residents as well as faculty. And just an example of this is a new initiative that we had as chief residents was to create a cheer cart, which is a little bit of a fun thing that we have, which is healthy snacks that we roll around that was fully funded by graduating residents and faculty. I love living in Baltimore. I moved here from Florida after a couples match with my husband. We're both from Florida. We live by the water. We live in a great medium-sized city and go to a medium-sized program, and we love it because we have family, not only with co-residents, but with faculty as well. I could go on and on about the amazing food of Baltimore. You can look it up in the New York Times, and I know my time is running out, so please feel free to reach out to us and we will talk all about it.
It does take a little time to fade out, but thank you, Dr. Gaitis, and thank you, Dr. Canute, for walking us through what University of Maryland and Baltimore has to offer. Next program of the evening is University of Florida, Jacksonville, and I would like to invite your program representative to please unmute and talk about your program.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So my name is Aisha Mirza. I'm the program director here at the University of Florida in Jacksonville. So UF has actually a number of residency programs in the state. We are up in the northeast corner of the state, and we are a completely independent program from the other UF programs here. So there's a lot of things that you've heard from the other programs. I think this is going to be a tough choice for you because everybody, offers so many wonderful things, as does our program. A couple of things I think that are unique about us are we are actually one of the oldest training programs in Florida. So there are a couple of people that you've heard from on the call that are our alumni. And we have alumni not just all over the state, but all over the country and also internationally. In addition, our program is unique in that we are a UF program, but we partner with Nemours Children's Health here in Jacksonville, which is mostly, there's no inpatient facility in Jacksonville, so it's just outpatient subspecialty clinics. So our residents have the opportunity to go to the clinics there when they're doing subspecialty electives. And then they work at Wolfson Children's Hospital, which is a freestanding children's hospital. So it's a really interesting mix. And then the UF Health Hospital is the safety net hospital for the city of Jacksonville. We actually serve a very, very large geographic area. Firstly, one of the things I always tell people is Jacksonville isn't a place that a lot of people have heard that much about, as opposed to, let's say, Orlando or Tampa, but it's a really beautiful city. Not only do we have beaches galore, but we have the St. Johns River. So lots and lots of nice places to live, lots of outdoor activities to do, and, a very affordable place to live also. In terms of our residency program, so we have a 50-50 split between our residents pursuing either a fellowship or going into general pediatrics. there's a strong focus on quality improvement. Our institution actually has a very robust curriculum that all the residents have to basically take. In addition to that, most of our residents pursued many different kinds of scholarly activities. And over the years, we've had multiple residents who present at pretty much any pediatric conference that is held in the US, you name it, they've been there, including internationally. So, we have had residents go to Canada and whatnot when PAS is being held there, and the program supports it. So not only do our residents get a stipend, we provide separate stipends if they are presenting as first author. And we have had multiple presentations, and this year, already I have residents going to the Florida chapter meeting and FMA and NCE. Many of these meetings, as you probably know, are in Orlando this year, but then PAS is in Hawaii. So I know I have a lot of residents trying to write abstracts so they can go to Hawaii. We have a strong emphasis on resident wellness. Our program pays 100% for the pediatric boards, which are becoming more and more expensive every year. So that's, I think, a really nice little perk and helps with financial wellness. We do have a financial wellness lecture series also that is part of our noon conference curriculum. We offer 6 weeks of paid parental or family leave should anybody need it. There are leadership development opportunities. We do have the different tracks in the program. Research, advocacy is a big one that we are known for. Many of our faculty members are involved in advocacy at not just the state, but the national level. And, they mentor our residents on different projects. And in addition to that, we have global health. So over the years, I have sent residents to Colombia. We have a program in China. I haven't sent anyone there yet because just as we started the program, COVID happened. However, things are open back now. So hopefully we'll have somebody go there. Dominican Republic, as well as Mexico, are other places that we added this year. And then, of course, we do individualize the curriculum for residents. So even if you're not on research or community advocacy, etc., it doesn't mean that you can't get involved with any of these initiatives. We do accept J1 visa. I think we are very, very proud of the diversity in our program. I don't know that I need to really speak much about it. Just go to our website and just look at the faces of all our residents and where they come from. And there you go. 5 minutes are up. So, look at our website and email us if you have any questions. And good luck to all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mirza, for walking us through UF Jacksonville. Our next program of the evening is USA Health. If you could just give me one moment to pull up my screen for them. And I think we're good to go.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if you can see our infographic. So I am one of the APDs at USA Health. We are part of the University of South Alabama, and we are in Mobile. Which, if you're not familiar with, is right on the coast. So one of our great things about training here is that you're very close to water, beaches and recreational water, freshwater lakes and things of that nature. The other thing that's kind of our big claim to fame is we are the home of Mardi Gras. We are the first place in the continental US that had Mardi Gras from our French heritage. So not as notorious as New Orleans, but we do enjoy Mardi Gras around these parts. As far as our program, we have 12 residents per year. We also have a MedPeds program that takes 2 to 3 residents per year. We do take J1 visas. We are one of 5 freestanding children's and women's hospitals, and we're the only one on the Gulf Coast. So we have a large catchment area from Mississippi and the Florida Panhandle and through rural Alabama as well. We have a level 3 NICU that can hold up to 100 babies. We have a 20-bed PICU with 4 to 5 flex beds if they need to expand. And we currently have 66 pediatric beds for our hospital service. We also, some of our infographic is not quite updated. Dr. Whitehurst, our program director, has retired, and so Dr. Custodio is our current program director. Nicole is our program coordinator. I'm here tonight with Riham, who is one of our chief residents, and Tanya, who is a PGY3 resident. So some of the great things about our program, we do have wellness we do have X plus Y, but we did just switch to 4+2. You have a week-long continuity clinic as part of your longitudinal experience, and then we have wellness half days on the Friday of your clinic. Friday mornings are part now of our simulation program, so there's no clinical responsibilities on Fridays, but there's exposure to sims, there's modules, there's educational things, and then your wellness in the afternoon. We did also start to increase community engagement, so part of your continuity clinic, you'll have one day out of those 4 that is in different areas of mobile clinics, as far as working with our health department, working with FQHCs, working with diabetes camp, which we just had, which was really nice. So you get to engage in not just seeing patients, in a clinical setting, but also living their best life. We have, as also part of our wellness, we have a small gym inside our hospital system here at Children's and Women's, but we have a large rec center affiliated with our university that's not far away, and membership is only $10 a month for residents. We do have free meals in our physician lounge, and also a meal stipend for the residents when they're on night services. And then I'll let our chief and our current 3rd year speak as well.
I will speak a little bit about the diversity that we have. So our program is really a very diverse programs. We have residents from all over. It is also a very nice program in the sense that we really feel that we are part of a family. When you are in a medium-sized program, which everyone has repeated, you really know everyone else really well. You know your co-residents' families, you know their co-residents' children, you know what they like to do, their hobbies, and all of that. So we really do feel that everyone is really, there's a good bond between everyone, and even with the attendings, like you will feel that part of your family more than just being your attendings that are there just to teach you, but also, be there for you when you need it. And I will let our PGY3 say something.
What they said, we are very close together. I know as PGY3, I feel that we have been heard. That's a really good thing about our program. These changes that we've had recently is because we have said things and very receptive, everybody. So it's great. Yeah.
And I will just add, so our focus, our kind of mission is that we have residents who graduate, and about half of our residents go into fellowship and then half go into general pediatrics. But our mission is that everybody graduates academically strong, clinically strong, and with a strong sense of community engagement. And so we celebrate that as well.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for walking us through USA Health. Back to you, Ria.
All right. So this concludes the program overview portion of the evening. Now we will open up the floor to a live Q&A. All right. So because we are running low on time and I want to respect everyone's time tonight, so we have time for one question. And let's see, the question will be, what qualities of an applicant does your program look for?
So can anyone answer that? Is that?
Yes.
Okay. So we look for residents who are, have that dedication. We know our applicants have very strong backgrounds in, clinical expertise, research, and with volunteer work, community activities that they've done before they get to residency. So we look for a resident that will continue that with their work in the community that they serve in Mobile, and then also, as they go beyond residency. We look for people who are, appreciate a diverse environment, because we feel like as a group, like Riham said, even as from attendings to residents, we all work together well and we can all learn from each other. And our program wants to build people up, right? So that we can put our best foot forward to take care of patients and to do that research and to do the things that we want to exemplify, those qualities that we admire.
Yeah, I would echo that for Orlando Health, Arnold Palmer. We are looking for well-rounded applicants, really who have a strong commitment to advocacy and patient care. And really, I think the most important thing is to match with residents who the residency process is like a two-way street. So it's really important for residents to also or future residents to be comfortable with our program and find what they're looking for as well. That's the most important thing. If we have what you want to offer, then we want you with us.
I would echo some of the similar things we're hearing, but I think what I always think about is our residents really tend to be really excited about giving back. They're the kind of people that really have had experience giving back and lots of other opportunities before they came to us, and they love doing advocacy work together here. They like doing community outreach work together here. I think it's one thing that really helps them bond so quickly. Every year, I think our interns cannot be a more cohesive, wonderfully bonded class, at the beginning of their time, and they do it every year. So I think a part of that is a lot of our residents are really committed to working with the underserved, since we are here in a very underserved area in Baltimore, and there's some really great opportunities to really make a big difference in the lives of our patients here. And I think that's one thing our residents have in common.
I would just add a growth mindset. So if you come to the program, we know that you don't know everything, but just being willing to learn, stretch yourself, think about it a different way. That's really important for us.
Yeah, I think the same thing for everyone. I think you're going to hear a lot of the same thing in these mid-sized programs that are very, bonded together, as well as that it's all about the fit of how you fit together and you want to be part of a community. And then, for us, it's also, we have a lot of individualization. I think a lot of these other programs probably do too. So we're looking for people who want to really be leaders, not only in the world, but also in their own education, and help design their education in a way as well.
Thank you, everyone. We are approaching the end of this webinar, and we're going to all go back to